Hello everybody, Caelum here with what I believe to be the first NOTA Winter game of 2016. Here we go, let's kick things off. Team VuDoo versus Team Sea Monster. If you're not aware, we had some troubles figuring out what the second stage would be after the first group round, so all group stages have been reset, and we're now going to be playing a round robin. So this is game one of the first game for both these teams in their round robin bracket. They're in Group B, and let's see what they go with. The draft's looking kind of weird so far. Of course, you can't really tell from just a few bands, but from what we see, we've got the Doom band out, as well as the Warlock. Doom, of course, a very heavy hitter in the last meta, but not so sure how he's going to be played in this meta. Probably in the same style, if we see him played at all. He definitely hasn't been picked up much in the pro scene after the update, and he really got nerfed a little bit, so not quite sure he's as good as he used to be. Not quite sure his first pick or ban material, so we'll just see. The Warlock, of course, pretty strong support. Very good teamfight ultimate going through BKBs, so maybe they just don't want to have to play against that. Very annoying combos you can do with him as well, with his chains and then any huge damage dealer like Veno's ultimate or a Zeus ultimate. Anything like that. Really just, it's basically a one-team fight. And we see Ember Spirit and Phantom Assassin banned out on the other side. Ember Spirit, very, very strong mid laner, of course. Never really fell out of the meta. We'll see if he gets as much play in this meta. It's going to be hard because of the obvious mid dominators being Invoker and OD this meta. It's going to be hard for an Ember Spirit to do much in the mid lane. So he may switch roles to more of a safe lane hero. Probably not. It may happen. We'll just have to find out as the scene advances, but it's going to be interesting to see what becomes of Ember. I think it's interesting that they banned him first here, considering he's not the strongest hero in the pool, but still a good ban. Then the Phantom Assassin also quite surprising me, as I'm sure we all know, with Eternal Envy's struggles, trying to spam PA until he gets a 75% win rate on the hero, and I think he's lost something like 80% of his games, so Phantom Assassin not exactly the best hero. And we see a Vengeful Spirit picked up, very useful hero, especially with that new Aether Lens, increasing the swap range as well as the range of her stun. She's just become an even better initiator, and all she really has to build is a Force Staff, and she can really initiate without putting herself in too much harm. She just swaps, turns, Force Staffs out, and she's most of the way back to her team, with the other heroes should already be dead. Meanwhile, we see a Dazzle and Shadow Fiend get picked up. Dazzle, very good support. Shadow Fiend, another very good mid laner. Same kind of story as Ember Spirit, never really gets phased out of the meta, just sometimes he's far more effective than others. Can't really tell about him for this current early part of the meta, but we'll see where he goes. Probably, what side are they on? They are on Radiant, so it's a safe Shadow Fiend pickup because it is far harder to gank him on that side. And we see the Invoker picked up. As I stated earlier, he's just a really good lane dominator, even after the Alacrity debuff. Or even after the Alacrity nerf, sorry. Still pretty great. Going to be able to outlast hit the Shadow Fiend and just really make his life hard. As well as all his teamfight spells, really going to be able to control the teamfights well. I'm thinking they might want to ban an Omni Knight or a Rubik here. Both heroes are going to be really hard to play against as Invoker. Silencer also great as well. The Omni Knight, of course, because of his Repel. And then Rubik, of course, with his Aghanims, he has the exact same ultimate cast time as Invoker, so for every spell Invoker throws, Rubik can throw it right back at you. We see an Axe banned out by Team Sea Monster. Not quite sure what they're going for as of yet. Can't really tell much, but with these two heroes, the Dazzle and the Shadow Fiend, they can definitely fight pretty effectively, even against this Invoker. The Dazzle, Shallow Grave, also a pretty good pickup to possibly save whoever gets Venge swapped out of there. Just throw on the Shallow Grave, heal them up a bit, and hope they can walk their way out. Shadow Fiend's going to give him a bit of that right-clicking, and his ultimate is a bit more the team fight that they're going to need. And we see a Spirit Breaker banned out. A great ganking hero, so it looks like they're obviously going to want to have some pretty stable lanes this early game, which means they can go for a little more greedy lane picks, a little more greedy carries. We'll just see what they go for. I think a good ban for Team Sea Monster here would be another support. And the Winter Wyvern banned out. Another really, really nerfed hero. Some would say nerfed to absolutely uselessness. But we'll just see how well they use it, considering her ultimate is now a glorified stun, since the enemy team cannot attack the hero affected by it. But Legion Commander picked up a pretty strong hero most times. The duel, of course, is a great disable. Are going to have to be careful, though, because this Invoker is just going to... Her duel is going to make her a super easy target for the Invoker Sunstrike as well as other spells. They're going to have to throw a lot of damage into these duels to get her the quick win and then run so that Invoker isn't able to capitalize on any potential mistake or positioning mistake they could have made. And a Shadow Shaman picked up by Team VuDoo. Really great combo here. We got the Venge swap into Hex and Shackles. A great lane pusher as well. They've got quite a lot of push right now, so they may want to go with some more pushing or some more early game oriented heroes, such as a Juggernaut, maybe a early game offlaner. Abaddon comes online pretty early. He can fight. And we see a Lion picked up by Team Sea Monster. Another great pick. All those disables really great. The only problem is I think they're not really worried about this Venge stun too much, it looks like. I mean, granted, there's not really... the Venge swap, I mean. Granted, there's not really much you can do about it. You can't, like, prepare for it. But so far, they've got 2 natural BKB carries, which is good. So both their carries shouldn't have to worry about the swap. Unless it... Does it go through magic immunity? Yes, it does. So never mind about that BKB point. Still gonna... Well, I have to watch their positioning quite a lot. I might have actually picked up a Coddle here because of his Aghanim Scepter just giving them the unobstructed day vision. As well as the fact that they have no way to scout without actually sending one of their heroes out there. The Coddle Illuminate would have helped them out a bit as well. But we'll just see what they pick up here. They need an offlane hero or a carry next. But for the side of Team VuDoo, I'd say they're looking pretty great. They have their whole plan, the Venge swap into the Shaman Shackles. Really all they need to do is make sure they have enough damage to finish off whoever comes in there. So like I said, since they do have this early push once Shaman hits 6 and the early kill potential once Venge hits 6, they want to pick an early fighter, and Gyrocopter, another perfect example of that. Just so much damage done with Rocket Barrage, as well as Flat Cannon to farm those quick jungle stacks that you may be able to receive. For the next ban here, they're going to want to ban an offlane hero. Not really sure who Team VuDoo might go with here. The Shaman Venge Gyrocopter could be a very, very scary tri-line, so they may want to look at solo laners. Dragon Knight, with his recent buff to Dragon's Blood, he may be a very impressive offlaner. That could be a potential ban. Extremely hard to kill. May also want to ban out a Tide Hunter. That's just really going to add some more team fight here, and with no real silences on the other team, if Tide can just stay back and get a Blink Dagger, it's going to be a pretty quick and easy kill, or pretty quick and easy team fight for the side of Team VuDoo. It's really all going to rely on the initiation here. I think whoever gets the jump on the other will most likely be the winner of the team fights. The Legion Commander, I think her main duel target will be Invoker, because if she duels anyone else, Invoker can just come through with the Tornado, EMP, Deafening Blast, Sunstrike, you name it, he's got it to throw at the Legion. That's most likely going to result in a lost duel for her, so I think number one duel target there is going to be Invoker during fights. Unless, of course, they can get a pick off. And there goes the Slardar ban. Still, even after the nerf to his ultimate, still a strong hero. Maybe not as strong, but still some pretty good pick material. Definitely more situational than in the last patch, though, but still a good, strong pick in certain situations. Team VuDoo, on the other hand, they're going to want to ban anything that could help Team Sea Monster with their initiation. So that's pretty vague, but any really tanky hero. A Dragon Knight, they might look at banning a Dragon Knight as well. A Tusk, maybe even to be played offlane. That could be some deathly initiation. Offlane Tide for Team Sea Monster could do as well. Legion Commander jumps in to get the duel off, and then Tide comes in with a Ravage. That's going to be basically a one duel every time at level 6. Granted, that can only work once every 100 and some seconds because of the Ravage cooldown, but that they should be able to turn that Ravage into a one fight as well. And the Undying is banned out. Good lane dominator, really good ban as well. Really hard to play up against and dying if you're not coordinated. That tombstone just does so much work, especially since they buffed the zombie attack damage. He's really going to be hard to play against here. Team Sea Monster waiting on their last pick, probably most likely going to be an offlaner. I don't think they're going to put this Legion Commander in the offlane position, although it is possible. I don't think she's going to be strong enough there. She does need to get some early farm, and the safe lane in this tri-lane would be good for that. And they pick up a Huskar. Pretty good. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure how great it's going to be, considering Team VuDoo still has potential to counter it. They could pick up a OD mid, throw the Invoker offlane, solo offlane, that could potentially work, and then the OD with his recent buff to his Arcane Orb. You put more levels in that quicker, and don't put quite as much in your Astral Imprisonment, which means you're doing more damage with your pure damage attack modifier earlier, which means Huskar is just taking more damage. You could also pick a Wind Ranger, that's going to be doing a lot of work. Other sources of pure damage, Timbersaw. Timbersaw is a pretty good offlane hero. There's just so many ways to counter this Huskar right now. I'm not sure he was the right choice, but we'll see what Team VuDoo decides to go with. Only 12 seconds left here. They don't have much time to think this over. And they do go with the Wind Ranger. She can be played offlane as well. So this is looking like it's going to be a pretty good game here. Team VuDoo versus Team Sea Monster. Let's wait to see how this all unfolds. Away with the drafting overlay. And here we go. We are loading into the game. Quite a bit of lag. At least they fixed people all disconnecting. And let's go ahead and start on the side of Team Sea Monster. Here we go. This is Bob, and Bob needs to win. Is going to be playing our Legion Commander. Call me Chevy Chase is going to be on our Shadow Fiend mid, doing that sweet taunt. Ratfong Bips is going to be on our Huskar. That other guy is playing Dazzle, and Elwood is going to be on our Lion. We got some circles drawn here from Wind Ranger on the map. We got more lines drawn here from Invoker on the map. They looking for a smoke play? I don't see anyone with smoke. No one has the smoke. Is Avenger going back to bite? There we go. There's the smoke. My team used to do this all the time. They're going to come down here, smoke here at around the 30-second mark, and then walk in here, come up behind, and kill anyone they can right in here. It's a pretty good strategy. Usually secures you the first blood. Granted, it usually results in the team getting both runes because you haven't put anyone up here, and because you're coming in behind them here, they're going to be able to get the rune here. But let's just see how it works out for them. And meanwhile, while we're waiting for this, time to introduce Team VuDoo. Mr. Shadows is going to be playing on Gyrocopter. Lax is going to be on the Shadow Shaman. Sinister is going to be on Vengeful Spirit. GG Noir on the Invoker. And Shazzy is going to be playing that wicked sick Wind Ranger. Ratfong Bips looking like he's going to be the favored target of the ult here. But Lion gets caught out on the backside. It doesn't look like he's paying attention at all. In comes the Hex, and that's going to be a very quick kill. And by Hex, I mean Shackles, of course. That's going to be a quick kill, and there we go. And they actually force them away from this rune, which means that's going to be a rune for Invoker. And the rune top not snagged. Legion Commander is going to be able to get that. And it looks like they are putting her off lane anyway. He's going to be leaving that for the Shadow Fiend. So this offlane Legion, I'm not quite sure how well it's going to work. Looks like we have a tri-lane for the Huskar, which means... So it's not tri-lanes. Okay, so not what I expected. So this Wind Ranger is going to have a bit easier of a time. Vengeful Spirit going to be able to help her out, but still, I think this lane is going to be going the way of Radiant. They have the kill potential with the Huskar once he hits around level 3. They have this double stuns from Lion, which means they're going to be able to keep the lane locked down, and the heal from Dazzle means they shouldn't have to leave the lane. See, just right there, those few right clicks of Harass is going to bring Venge all the way down. She's forced to use a Tango here. Any other hero and that tick damage just isn't going to be enough to bring her down like that. But because it's a Huskar, it's going to be hard. Dazzle here, a bit of a misplay. You don't want to be going up that far. It's really hard for you to harass them and not take damage in that position. But he is doing his job. He's trying to zone him out, so great job there. Both wards putting right here. The Dire Ward obviously aims to block that camp. Oddly enough, the Radiant Ward also happens to be blocking this camp, so both wards doing the job of one. Lion going to be hitting that pull, and it is a stacked camp, so it does not even matter that this is blocked. So great job out for the Lion here. This is how he's going to be getting his levels. Meanwhile, if we look top, this Legion Commander not going to be having the best lane against this Gyrocopter and the Shadow Shaman. She's going to have to be careful, putting points in this overwhelming odds to push the lane in her favor. And Invoker going to be able to get the kill on Shadow Fiend mid. Cold Snap Sunstrike going to be doing the job. Too bad we couldn't see that. 2 kills. Oh yeah, the lion in the jungle, duh. But as I said, Invoker just so good in mid lane this game, or this meta. Granted, the alacrity, as we previously stated, was nerfed, so he's not as great. It's not as easy for him to just dominate a lane, but it's still pretty easy. We see Lion down bot trying to go on this Venge, but the Shackle comes in. Dazzle Heal comes in as well. The right clicks go through, but the miss and the Vengeful Spirit is going to die as well. Windrange is going to have to run, although she's not really in any harm. Lion's going to heal up, but he's still only level 1, and they have to be careful going up that cliff. They're not going to do it, but good turnaround there by the Lion. Just barely able to escape. The Vengeful Spirit, unfortunately, isn't able to make it out of that one. Venge now back in lane, and Huskar really just been getting free farm this entire time. If we take a look at net worth, Invoker's on the top, obviously. Last hits and denies. Last hits go into the Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopter tied here. Both basically getting, well, Gyrocopter basically getting free farm, as well as this Huskar, who is also basically tied with last hits. Shadow Fiend mid doing a lot better than I expected for dying once. In fact, Invoker, I feel like he should have almost as many last hits as Shadow Fiend. Granted, he does, but he's down by like 4 last hits, so it's not too bad. An entire wave, basically. Shadow Fiend just using raises to full potential, especially now that he has that bottle, so runes are going to be really important here mid lane. Invoker is going to want to get him for haste and the invisibility, of course the regen if he wants to gank, and Shadow Fiend is just going to want to get him just to be sure to refill his bottle, because if he runs out of mana, he's not going to be able to do so much in lane. Venge throwing out her wave of tear, going to be pushing the creeps just a little bit in her favor. Not quite sure you want that, considering you can't really harass this Huskar without taking twice the damage you output right back in your face. So this is really going to be a hard lane, and Venge buys another smoke. Can't wait to see what they do with this one. Top lane, Gyrocopter has his boots, going for the Ring of Aquila, most likely. Very, very unlikely that he doesn't just complete it with these items. Legion Commander almost out of mana. Going Soul Ring, I'm not quite sure about this build. Most heroes that go Soul Ring have a reason, like Darkseer obviously needs it to sustain his push in lane. Omni Knight, he can use it for the heal. Brood Mother uses it for the spiders, and then she heals up in her web because she gets the extra passive heal. But Legion Commander does not. She's only got 1.2 points in 1.2 health regen, so not going to be too good there. Venge, I just need to keep watching this mid lane because Venge went on the gank mid and managed to pull out another Shadow Fiend kill. So Invoker's going to be extremely ahead now, considering he got that kill as well. Sunstrike Cold Snap combo again used. Fortunately for them, they really should be focusing on is ganking this Huskar. Level 4, 23 last hits, 5 minutes. Not doing too bad. Basically where you want to be at that point in time. He's going to be quite the force to reckon with this game. Their only hope is making sure this Wind Ranger can get farmed enough to be able to kill Huskar in a shackle duration. Venge swap is... I don't want to say it's going to be 100% used on this Huskar to kill him before a fight, because it's possible they aren't able to kill him. It's just going to be really hard to burst him down, especially with this lineup. A lot of magic damage on it. Legion Commander top built the Soul Ring. Like I said, I don't really agree with it, but she does have a lot more health regen now, so it may not be too bad. It's going to be hard for her to utilize it to full effect, but if it works, it works. She's obviously using it to cast overwhelming odds. That's her huge damage dealer in lane, and in comes Shadow Shaman. He's going to pick up this Bounty Rune and possibly go for the gank mid. Shadow Fiend is way up, and Invoker has pulled the creeps way back. Hang out Venge, she's got the haste rune, and Shadow Shaman, what are you doing, bud? They could have gotten that kill mid on the Shadow Fiend. In comes the right clicks. No stun is going to be thrown out. Stun is thrown out. Don't really agree with that. In comes the Invoker Sunstrike, and they're going to go for the kill, actually. Venge's haste almost out. Shadow Fiend going to eat a tree, run out, and be fine. The rotation comes in from Dazzle to save him, but won't be needed in the end. Huskar obviously rushing a armlet, and once Huskar gets that, it's just going to be even harder to kill him. Against this team, unless he's surprised by the burst damage of Sunstrike, or maybe a call down. I don't see him not being able to armlet toggle out of anything. Obviously, he's going to have to be careful if they're all right-clicking him, but like I said, and Shadow Shaman's got to be careful here. The Shadow Fiend sees him. Dazzle turns around, throws the poison, and Legion Commander's going to have an easy kill there. Shadow Fiend actually gets it with the raise, but Legion Commander's overwhelming odds basically securing that. And I would have loved to see her duel for that. She really needs to get as much damage as she can early, and this is going to be an early tower down. Team VuDoo not looking as strong as their draft promised. This Shadow Fiend just doing so much work, even after his few deaths mid lane. No real clue as to what he's going. He's probably going to finish up his treads, then go into some item. I'd really prefer if he didn't go the Yule's build, but we'll just see what he chooses. Comes a TP from Invoker, and it looks like they're going to want to fight. The Starcopter is only level 5. Cold Snap comes in on the Legion, but they're going to shackle up this Shadow Fiend. He's going to fall down. Legion Commander getting hit with the Shaman Hex, or the Shaman Shackles. They have no mana, but they're still going on the chase. Dazzle waiting up to heal Legion. Legion's going to be able to TP out, and Dazzle looks fast enough to get out. The few right clicks they have come through, and they're just going to be forced to back off. Regeneration rune pinged out. Dazzle's going to be able to go over, pick that up, and just be dandy. Ready for the next gank he's got to protect. They did come out on top, of course, killing the Shadow Fiend, but they did lose a tower for it, so would have loved to see that rotation a bit earlier. Would have been a bit better. And Invoker kind of going a weird build. He has gone the Quas Exhort build, but has not put a single point into his, I have no idea what they're called, Forge Spirits. Has not put a single point, or has not invoked his Forge Spirits once. I do believe 99% sure that Forge Spirits is, yep, Exhort Quas, so it is in that build that you get them. I don't really like that. Forge Spirits is really the bread and butter of your Quas Exhort build. So he's been doing just fine without them, but just love to see what he could do with them. The Shadow Fiend's about to take 100 damage. Oh boy, GG, end it now. Lion getting some stacks up in the jungle with the passive nerf. Oh no, this is the medium camp, and luckily he did not get a centaur, so this is going to be just as easy to take as normal, but these ones, of course. Is this stacked? Yes, it is, and neither of these have the passive magic magic resistance. There we go. And Invoker, a triple gank on the mid lane, and I just got to keep watching mid because I'm missing all these kills on the Shadow Fiend. Fortunately, like I said, Huskar not dying and just getting free farm. Take a quick look at the last hit. Somehow, Shadow Fiend's still leading. It's just really amazing. Even with all these kills, he's still managing to lead last hits. Although, if we look at net worth, Invoker is the highest. Not surprising there, considering he's gotten quite a few kills. Pre-10-minute Midas, that's just amazing. That's exactly what you need on Invoker. That's the farm time you need. And Legion Commander not looking so well for wear, actually. Finally has her treads at 10 minutes. Granted, she was offlane, so it's going to be a bit hard. And it looks like Vengeful Spirit's going to die here. She shows a stun on Legion to make sure she can't get the duel off. And Legion running uphill does manage to secure the duel, but in comes the Invoker, throwing everything he has. Venge is going to fall, but unfortunately, no duel damage for him. The wards come out, almost able to kill the Huskar. Not quite. The Shackle comes out, and this is looking like a dead Shadow Fiend. The right clicks go through, and that's an easy kill there. So a 1-for-1 trade. Shadow Fiend for Venge. Invoker running forward. Lion stun on 2. In comes the Huskar, getting the jump out, right-clicking, but being shackled up, and that's going to be a quick kill. Dazzle running in as well, attempting to save him, but the 4 heroes there are going to be able to force him back. In comes the Sunstrike from Invoker, and that's a dead Dazzle. Beautiful Sunstrike. Great plays there. Really great turnaround. Sea Monster definitely should have been a bit more careful there. Team VuDoo really knows what they're doing, and that was a great turnaround by them. The Shaman wards used up here, of course, to force them back. And then the fight really just went on from there. The Shadow Fiend went up a bit too aggressive and sacrificed his life, but in the end, the chase on Dazzle was just those last few right clicks, just barely enough to make sure the Invoker Sunstrike could get that kill. How much damage is this doing right now? 350, so that's quite a bit. That's nothing to mess around with. They do need to push some towers, though. They haven't pushed any, and the pressure has been on their towers basically the entire early game. Mid, about third health left. Bottom, half-ish, a little bit more. 2/3 health left. And the Shadow Fiend just starting to take these jungle stacks. Except he is going for that finished treads, but here comes the Wind Ranger. She's looking for a shackle. In comes the Arcane Rune. Shadow Fiend going to be able to pick that up. Shackles, but doesn't latch to anything, and they're just going to have to run. Lion gets the stun on Wind Ranger. Right clicks come through. She's going to be able to win runaway and be just fine. Legion Commander, not sure where she was. Huskar leaping up, has his armlet. He's going to be right-clicking them down. Dazzle throwing the poison on the other side, and easy kill for Huskar. Healing up by Dazzle. In comes the Invoker Sunstrike, and man, he just barely surviving there with about 100 health left. Invoker Sunstrikes have really been on point. I would not be surprised if he was Respect Banned next game. Not even Respect Banned, just because he's such a good hero. Wouldn't be surprised. Arcane Rune used, that's going to make his raises cost less and come online quicker. So he should be able to push this tower with relative ease. And Huskar and Dazzle pushing the bot lane. Shaman and Wind Ranger really can't do much here. They've got a few spells, but I mean, in the end, 3 heroes here now. Huskar should just be able to leap from target to target and get the kill. Gyrocopter trying to stack for himself, but his own ward here blocking his camp, so a little bit sad there. I believe the camp spawn box is about to this tree right here, down and over like that. So that ward would be blocking it. Really important to know if your ward blocks it or not, because I mean this is costing Gyrocopter farm. Shadow Fiend making sure he's getting his push out. And down on bottom, Huskar, shallow graved up, manages to armlet toggle through it. Shaman throws the Hex, but that's it. Invoker, does he have a Yules? Yes, he does, but that's going to be all the mana he's got, and they're forced to back off. Everyone on low health or low mana. This next fight is not looking good. Invoker not even able to cast a single spell. He has his Invoke up, but now has quite a bit of mana. 9 mana regen. He should be able to do it. Legion Commander able to take that middle tower, so he's just forced to back off. And it looks like Invoker went the Yules combo, so should be able to combo down almost any one of their heroes. Don't think he can combo down the Huskar, and Shadow Fiend maybe. No, Shadow Fiend should be an easy combo as well. But the Shaman ward's used, and that's just going to be a dead tower. I think this game, Lion definitely should look at a Blink Dagger and hear the Shaman Shackle. Shaman Shackle going on the Dazzle, and that's going to be a quick kill for him. This fight going to break out. Huskar jumping onto the Gyrocopter, throwing out the spears, and that's going to be a quick dead Gyrocopter. Lion almost dead mid. The Shaman ward's going to be able to get him, and Wind Ranger and Venge going to be able to run away with Legion. Not sure if he's got any sort of damage, and Huskar gets killed by Sunstrike on the back line. Legion, 15 minutes into the game, still not a single bit of duel damage, and it's not like they haven't been winning fights. She just hasn't been getting the duel off, which is a huge mistake. You really need to make sure that you're winning duels as early as possible, too, to get as much bonus damage as you can. That's really what your hero thrives on. If you don't have at least 50 duel damage by the 20-minute mark, I'd say you've failed as an early game Legion. It's like, it's just, you won't be able to do enough without it. Dazzle unknowingly walking into 3 of them. Will they be able to catch him? The pings come out from the Wind Ranger, but no. Lion also here. Will they be able to catch Lion? Deafening Blast comes out. Lion trying to juke through the trees. Dazzle coming in. The TP comes in from the Huskar, and this is going to be looking like a dead Invoker. Wind Ranger manages to pin Huskar to a tree. Invoker trying to run away. Yules himself up to purge off that fire. The Lion Stun comes out a bit too early, but it doesn't matter. Invoker's going to be able to right-click him down in the end. Definitely going a bit too far for the Lion here. Got a bit greedy and overconfident. Good TP in by Huskar. Definitely saved the day there. Legion pushing the spot tower, and they should be able to take it. Here comes the Venge, throws out the Wave of Terror, but it's not going to do much. She has the swap, but no point in chasing now. Rest of the team is here. It's going to be a team fight, and they are finally de-warding this. Once again, they've blocked their own camp here. The GG called, but it's all, that fake GG call. Can never be too careful with those bad boys. cruising through the jungle as one does on a casual gank. Unfortunately, they do get spotted out by this ward here. So they will just have to settle for a bit of lane push. Huskar, mid, pushing. I think his next item should be either BKB, and he jumps the Invoker and come the right clicks, possibly, but Invoker just comboing him down. Unfortunately, doesn't have Invoke, which means he can't Deafening Blast, and he's going to get killed to the flames. Dazzle's healing him up, and his next item should either be BKB to prevent all that damage that Invoker just threw at him, or Heaven's Halberd. That's going to, of course, stop the Wind Ranger from attacking. Of course, he does have to get it off before the Shackle lands, so it might be a little bit hard to do, but definitely, I'm thinking it would definitely be the best item for him to counter this team. The Dazzle, on the other hand, probably should go Greaves, just the ultimate heal Dazzle here, since that does seem to be their strategy. Just keep Huskar alive and he will do the rest. Shadow Fiend obviously going BKB with this Ogre Club, which is just so good against this Invoker. It's not going to stop your Wind Ranger, of course, but if you can burst her down quick enough, it shouldn't be a problem. Although bursting her down might be hard. In comes the swap, in comes the stun. Shaman has him shackled up, but they're not going to be able to do much. The right clicks are coming through, and you should be able to run away. In comes the Hex, and in come the Shaman wards. Shadow Fiend ult, and that's going to go right on Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's dead, shackled again, and the wards come to finish him off. But Lion, running up the hill, doesn't have his ultimate. Shaman almost dead. The right clicks just need to happen. Invoker bursting them down. That Meteor Deafening Blast is doing so much work. Legion in on the backside, and she's got to get up to duel. There we go. The duel goes out on the Vengeful Spirit. I don't even think she has enough damage to do this, and she does, just barely with that Moment of Courage proc, and what a fight. What looked so bad for Team VuDoo turned around by this beautiful Invoker play. Just amazing there. That Meatball doing so much work in the Deafening Blast, pushing them all straight back into these wards. Meanwhile, Dire pushing. Gonna be pretty easy tower take here if anyone wants to come down and help out these creeps, but it looks like they're all just gonna head on back. Legion Commander finally won her first duel. Just going back to farm. First item, Blink Dagger, not bad. With this Chainmail, I would bet she's going Blade Mail. Also not too bad. The argument could be made for the BKB first this game because of the Invoker messing up her duel every time, but, I mean, what are you going to do about that? Definitely going to be hard to play around Invoker if you have to use your BKB for the duel, so. The Blade Mail will probably substitute just as well. Invoker, or maybe Legion pinging out this ward down here. The pings come out towards the mid lane. Looks like they want to push that. Huskar ready to leap, but I don't think it's too smart to leap into three of them. We'll just see what he does here. The rest of his team coming around. Invoker coming around as well. Can he find Huskar? There we go. The Yules. Here comes the combo. Shackled up. Hexed. Shackled up by two different shackles, the Shaman shackles and the Wind Ranger shackles. And they make it out with a quick, clean kill on Huskar. It looks like they're going to trade kill and tower for tower. Not quite sure the tier 2 tower is worth it, but in they come, and Lion popped smoke there. Probably accidental. You great there. Bit of a mistake, but here we go. Gyrocopter. Going a Yasha, probably going to be building that into a Manta style because Yasha no longer gives the full move speed bonus with just the Manta. So here we go. Going to be taking this stack, just a double stack, but that double damage is going to make it just a bit easier. Venge helping his carry out, and Alacrity being placed on him as well. Just so much damage coming out. Gyrocopter is going to get scary and fast. So there's the Yasha recipe. And as pinged out, Shaman did opt for the Aether Lens. That's going to allow him to get, obviously, all these spells off. Every single one of them off in a wider range. Look at that. Look at that shock range. That's just insane. Hex range, pretty solid. Shackles, it's also pretty solid. It's just really insane how much changes when you have to play around an Aether Lens or Dragon Lance. I would really love to see the Venge go Aether Lens, but she went the Medallion of Courage, so probably going to be building that into a Solar Crest to get full effect. And Wind Ranger, no surprise that she's going first item, Aghanim Scepter. Hopefully she builds a Desolator after. We'll just have to see. Legion farming up jungle, and that is definitely a blade mail because of that broadsword pickup. Lion building a force staff, that's good. He does need some sort of mobility item. Blink dagger is usually the one that's opted for, but force staff is just as good also, considering you're going to be able to save yourself or allies if they need to be force staffed out. Legion farming up the jungle, and time is really key here. I think Team VuDoo... Actually, I have no idea. But Shadow Fiend being killed up top, Invoker, another combo coming out, easy kill there. But yes, as I was talking about, timing is really going to be everything this game. They are just getting stronger and stronger. The XP lead dipping back towards Team VuDoo. Wouldn't be surprised if the gold advantage was in their favor as well. Yep, so they're pretty almost even in that case. Really the only thing that's keeping them in this game is their tower push. But, I mean, there we go. Shaman dropped his wards. That's going to be a super quick tower there. Wind Ranger ultimate as well. She used Wind Run there. Definitely should have waited until either the tower was aggroed on her or a hero. But she's going in anyway. And there we go. Quick tower kill. No response, but I mean, you can't really respond to that when your second best right clicker right now is dead. And it looks like Gyrocopter is actually going to be building into a Sange and Yasha, not a Manta style. I think the Manta would definitely be better. You're going to be able to purge off the Dazzle Poison Touch as well as the Huskar Slow that comes with his ultimate. So definitely probably should have thought about that first. And the Huskar is going for a BKB. So as talked about, it's just to make sure Invoker can't combo him down. It's going to make him a lot harder to deal with in these fights. And Lion warding up, but it was spotted out by this ward right here, so it's probably going to be a quick D-ward. Unfortunately, Lion Sentry, it can see up there, but he can't. So sad, so sad. Does anyone have wards? Nope. This team does not have wards at this current time. And Invoker just... I looked down there too late. Killing off Dazzle, but in goes the Legion Commander. Gets the duel off on Invoker. Will they be able to duel in time? No! Jess barely misses the extra duel damage, but she does manage to get the kill in the end, so that's great. Any free kills like that they can get, really good. Granted, it was an Invoker for Dazzle trade, but that's worth it any day. Any day of the week I would take that. Casually farming up the Ancients. Definitely think that Team Sea Monster should be trying to fight more here. VuDoo's score, kill score is so high because this Invoker keeps picking people off. What is he? He is 11 and 3. 11 kills. Probably 6 of those have been pickoffs, if not more. So if they just fight as 5, Invoker has to choose someone to combo down with the rest of the team being able to kill him off. Should be a pretty easily won fight. The Huskar just jumps in, should secure a kill on someone instantly, and then they just make sure they have Invoker locked down with either the duel or any one of Lion's many stuns. And everything should go perfectly well. So pinks come out, they see the Shadow Shaman, don't decide to go on it. Invoker, Deafening Blast stem creeps mid. And it looks like there may be a bit of a fight mid. Lion de-warding once again, but this ward up here still scouting them out for another 20 seconds. Rocket thrown at Shadow Fiend, he should be perfectly fine. BKB, we'll see if he uses it because the rest of the team is coming as well. There's the stun. Gyrocopter coming up, and he's going to have to use his BKB if he wants to get out of that. Gyrocopter ult thrown, but going to be completely whiffed, but it shouldn't even matter if the Wind Ranger power shot comes through, and that's going to be a quick kill there. Another pick-off. Like, they just need to fight and fight well. They can't allow any more pickoffs like that. They really need to stick together as 5 and just be prepared to back everyone else up. The rest of them were down here near the bot rune, and Shadow Fiend was up here all in his lonesome, and it's just a really easy pickoff. So, as I was saying earlier, Sea Monster really should look for a fight. They really should look to take a fight right now. I think they are strong enough to win. Huskar has his BKB now. Shadow Fiend has his 10-second BKB. With both of those, they should be able to easily stomp a fight. Legion Commander just blinks in for the initiation, and there we go. Looks like Gyrocopter is down. In comes the leap. The right click's coming out, and huge huge spells thrown out by Invoker. Unfortunately, they do manage to get the kill on the Gyrocopter, but unfortunately the Legion not able to do as much. Stun thrown out from Venge, and Shazzy, the Wind Ranger, probably next to fall. Slowed just too much. Lion Stun comes out, and that's going to secure the kill. Invoker just barely getting away mid. Lion ult burned on him, but unfortunately they weren't able to finish up with that, and Shadow Shaman being able to run out as well. And that's exactly what I was saying. They get the pick off. They're able to find the early kill. They can't get comboed down by Invoker because of this Huskar's BKB, and of course the Tornado actually saved Legion Commander for most of it. And Legion Commander building a Sange and Yasha as well. I didn't think that item was that good, but I mean, it's given them attack speed, it's given them move speed, and there we go, an easy kill on this Legion. The Sunstrike comes in, but the Dazzle Heal basically heals through it. That middle tower is not looking well for wear. It's going to be down soon, and boop, there it goes. Shadow Fiend cleaning up them creeps mid, and they're just going to back off. I think they could put pressure on this middle tower, not necessarily take it yet, but at least pressure it. With the Shaman down, I think they could definitely attempt to take this Roche. But we'll just see what they do. It looks like they split up to farm. Please don't. No. Oh, man. Definitely should have used that to get some more dual damage. Look for a quick pick off on someone like the Venge or the Shaman when he's back up. Maybe even the Invoker. But here he comes into the jungle solo. Not looking too good. Does manage to find the Huskars. Throws the Tornado, drops EMP, in comes the Meatball, Deafening Blast. Huskar, BKB's up, leaps him, and that's going to be an instant kill. Fortunately, he doesn't know that they have a Sentry Ward here, and that's going to be a dead Invoker. Yule's up by himself, walks the other way, re-ghost walks, but still walks straight into the Sentry Ward, and that's just going to be a failed gank. So Invoker definitely going to have to learn to be a bit more careful here, because now he basically just gave up a free tower. Both towers were pinged, both towers easily can be taken if they just group. Obviously, the bottom tower, maybe not so much, because they have to push all the way up here, where the top tower, they just have to go there. But pings come out for Roche, and that is a great second. That is a great second objective as well. Going to farm up the Ancients. They really need to Roche quick. They've only got 33 seconds to do it realistically. Wind Ranger come up. If she scouts them out, it's not going to be looking good. But Wind Ranger might get killed here. Nope. And they do start on Roche, so here we go. Legion Commander's going to tank it. If I had to guess, Huskar's going to pick this up. Just make the unkillable Huskar even more unkillable. They do manage to pick off Dazzle on the back line, and it looks like they're coming in. Shaman does have his wards up. In comes the power shot, but they're not going to be able to get here in time. Huskar picks up the Aegis, and they are fully able to fight. In comes the Legion, and she instantly duels Gyrocopter. All comes out from the Shadow Fiend, and beautiful, an instant death. The pin comes through, so Legion and Lion are both hexed up. Or shackled up, but they do manage to kill off the Venge as well, and only this Wind Ranger is able to escape. Beautiful team fight there. The ultimate from Shadow Fiend doing so much work. Legion Commander almost able to get some more dual damage off of that Gyrocopter. And Huskar just doing so much work here. Was a really good last pick. Not that I condone picking Huskar, but it was a good last pick in this sense. And now they are going to be able to push this up. Gyrocopter buys back, and their only hope here really is this Invoker. He throws all his spells. In comes the Meatball, and Huskar, force-stealthing himself out, trying to armlet toggle through this. There go the right clicks through, and he's going to be dead for his first round. Lion getting targeted by the tower, and he's going to be dead. Up comes Huskar, but he's not going to be able to do much. Shackled up, right clicks come through, and this is not looking good for him. Alacrity comes up, and he is sheeped up and dead. Team VuDoo, beautiful defense there. Invoker just doing so much work. Not quite sure where Dazzle was, and Shadow Fiend just barely escaping on what little health he has. Definitely a beautiful defense there from Team VuDoo. And it just can't get much better than that. Facing a Huskar who has just dominated your team for the last 10 minutes. Maybe not 10, like 7-ish minutes, and then you manage to kill him off first, and then combo your spells so perfectly. able to force the rest of his team out and then just take his Aegis as well. And here we go up the hill. Dazzle looking dead. Invoker doesn't even need to use his Yules to secure these kills anymore. He's just setting them up with Tornado now that he has his Ag Scepter. Just beautiful invoking. Great memory on all these spells. Alacrity's himself up, and this tower, yep, should be dead quite quickly. The Forged Spirits even come up. Shadow Fiend gonna start clicking down these wards, but creeps are dead, and oh, now the other creeps are dead as well. Still, this tower should fall. Venge looking for a swap, but nope, gonna back off, sees the Huskar. They can get jumped, and that's just not gonna be looking good for them. In comes the Invoker Tornado, doesn't manage to hit anyone. Shadow Fiend, beautiful deny there, just gonna stop a bit of gold coming, and Team VuDoo just decides to back off. I think they could definitely go for that tower there. It is a 4v5 fight, and without the Dazzle, they're basically losing that guaranteed extra bit of the Huskar or that guaranteed Shadow Fiend ultimate. So Dazzle really essential part here, and if they know he's killed off, they should probably go for the fight. This ward going to be instantly dewarded here. Beautiful, just what I like to see. Carries leaving them dewards for the supports. That extra 50 gold really does help, as well as the 100 experience that a ward gives now. So, Team VuDoo, I think they're going to want to look to capitalize on their recent victories. They're definitely going to want to look to fight, and they're going to want to look to make sure that they don't give this Huskar and Shadow Fiend any time to catch back up. They're smoked up, and wards here, obviously seeing the Gyrocopter. It's probably their obvious target, Legion Commander. Probably going to go for the blink in, but they don't see him. Blinks, pops the smoke, but did they see her? Yes, she goes on the Gyrocopter, doesn't get shackled, doesn't latch, goes on the Wind Ranger. Here they come. Gyrocopter jumped on the back line. Legion Commander in the front line. Rock going after her. She's going to get stunned up. Invoker coming out. Misses everyone. That's not going to be good. In comes the Meteor. He's instantly killed off, and there goes his spells. Venge not long for this life either. Right clicks come through. The Legion runs up, and she's going to get shackled up in the back by Shadow Shaman. The right click come through on the tower. Huskar still jumping through. Activates his BKB. Invoker buyback does nothing. Shaman trying to TP out there from this Huskar. Just can't do it. Dazzle shallow graving him up. Huskar, nothing to worry about now. Invoker buys back, but it's not going to be enough. They're just going to be able to right-click this tower down. Backdoor protection is active. In comes the Tornado, only going to catch Legion. Finally, creeps are not anywhere near base. They are way back there. They can't backdoor through this. What are they still doing there? They just need to run. Make sure they can't go. Unfortunately, Lion has to force staff himself into the base. The swap by Vengeance, that's going to be a dead Lion. Great play there by Invoker. The EMP setting it up, but Huskar, no fear, walking straight at them. And finally, creeps are in base. This tower is going to fall. This melee Rax is going to fall. It's looking like a dead Rax all around. Finally, heroes are back, but this Invoker dead again, and that's going to be a dieback. That is just awful for them. That is not what they wanted. A good attempt at defense by Invoker, but in the end, just being a little bit too far up, getting caught out by the Legion duel, and it's really not what you need. Luckily for them, neither of these tier 2 towers are down yet, so they are going to have to retreat if they want to take any more racks. The only plus side to this story, really. And now Team VuDoo really just needs to wait for this Invoker to be up and take another good fight. The last fight, the smoke really shouldn't have surprised them, but they were caught off. The Gyrocopter and someone, I believe the Vengeful Spirit was up here. Invoker, Wind Ranger, and Shaman were all down in this area, so they got split into two. The easy pick off up here on the Invoker really sealed the deal on that fight. So Legion Commander, though, even though she didn't get much done in terms of dueling in the early game, and still doesn't have that much duel damage, has done a really good job at prioritizing enemies in this fight. She's been able to consistently lock down the enemies when they need to. Like the Invoker, after he casted some spells, she was able to lock him down so he couldn't run away. Up here, she capitalized and obviously blinked on the Invoker to secure the kill there. So she's just been really aware. Really great job there. The uphill mischance, meaning Gyro not going to get that creep. Going back for it, but Shaman says, nope, my gold now. And Team Sea Monster are going to want to be careful. They do have the advantage. Not too slight either, almost 10k. in both regions, but they're just gonna have to be careful because Invoker with pickoffs like that, not gonna be good. They just need to keep their advantage as much as possible, and when you're losing stuff like that, it's just a really easy way for to let the other team get back into this game. Yeah, you took a tower for it, but I mean, definitely rather have that dazzle kill. It's gonna up my self-esteem a bit more, make me think we're right back in it. Granted, I would love to see them get some more ward vision up on the map. This is the only ward they have. So they're really susceptible in their jungle. Notice they're not even headed over there. They're all sticking together in the mid lane. The only person up there is Gyrocopter, who should really be careful, is working on his BKB. Shaman going to be working towards that Ag Scepter, and here comes a smoke, this time from the side of Team VuDoo. The ping comes out towards the jungle, so can't wait to see what they do there. With no ward vision, it's going to be sketchy moving through, but we'll see. Invoker waiting in the shop, shooting through Roche, and it looks like he should be up soon. But ward is placed, and Lion able to make it out. He's got Blink Dagger and Force Staff, so able to easily dodge that gank. Pause comes out, and Invoker, yep, sitting still. Not quite sure what he was doing. Looks like he's had some few problems. Finally, break to sip some water, and here we go, game right back on. Really terrible for Team VuDoo that they had to go through that, but here comes another smoke gank. Legion Commander with an Invis rune tracking them. Smoke gank, the rest of her team coming in, and this is not looking good for Gyro. Or the Legion, or the Invoker, I mean. They go on Gyro, Invoker immediately casting all his spells, in they come, hitting on 3 of them. Gonna be an instantly 2 dead. Gyrocopter unfortunately not able to fix up anything. Venge swapping out someone, I can't tell who, but it doesn't matter. The right clicks from this Huskar and Legion come through. It's gonna be a 2-for-2 trade. This Ice Wall stopping everyone else. Wind Ranger throwing some right clicks, and this Legion dead from the Sunstrike, but unfortunately, Huskar gonna be able to finish off Invoker. And a 4-for-4 trade, what a fight. Starting off with that duel on the Gyrocopter, ending with the beautiful Sunstrike. Fortunately, Wind Ranger not able to defend against this Huskar. She just doesn't have the damage necessary to be able to kill him, or to be able to burst him down, especially now that he has Heart. He can just keep his armlet on the entire time, no problem. This game is not looking good for Team VuDoo. The longer and longer it goes on, the more and more it seems that they're losing fights. Granted, they pulled that one even, but I mean, with the amazing start from the Invoker, with the instant 2 dead supports, I feel like they definitely should have been able to pull through that one a lot better. They even had the Shaman wards in the middle of everything. I just definitely think they should have been able to pull through that. The Gyrocopter ultimate even helped them out. I just don't know how they didn't come out on top in that fight. Gonna have to go take a second look at that. But this Huskar just doing so much work, especially now that he's at a higher level. His magic damage resistance, and he feels so safe. He's just taking their ancients. He doesn't even care. Daytime. This ward has seen him up here a few times. That's not the ward. This ward, well, it saw him moving through here. Huskar passing up the double damage. Don't know why. Double damage just sitting there. Shadow Fiend has a Daedalus. Picks up his bottle. I have no idea where that came from. Drop the bottle, picks it up, gives it to Huskar. There we go. So Huskar is going to be bottling the double damage to save for later. You know, just saving it for a wee bit later. Saving it for the fight. And I do think the next fight will be GG. Both tier 2 towers are down. So the next fight will either end in the destruction of this Rax or the destruction of this Rax. And then they could, of course, go for the throne or just go for the other Rax and Megas, which would basically be the throne as well. We'll just have to see what they do. Invoker throwing out that Tornado. Push back these creeps. And here we go. The double damage used to take this Huskar. The pings come out, but can they really defend it? They kill the creeps middle. Venge pulls them all back. They get ready to smoke up, and here we go. The smoke pops, catches everyone but Invoker. That's not going to be good, but it's too late. Huskar picks up the Aegis, and here we go. They're walking towards mid, smoked up there, already walking top. Both teams are probably going to meet each other. To see what happens since this visibility is going to be so low. Smoke pops on both sides. They can't see the Legion commander. It gets swapped in and instantly goes on the Venge. Unfortunately, she gets trapped in all the cogs. What am I talking about? Wards. Invoker drops the spells. Unfortunately, the BKBs go off. Huskar going to be right-clicking down. Gyrocopter going to get killed up by the Shadow Fiend. Wind Ranger right-clicking as well. Uses her ultimate, but it's just not going to be enough. Shaman hexing up Huskar. Hexing up this Shadow Fiend, but it's not going to be enough. Wind Ranger buys back, and all that's left of this Invoker. Vengeful Spirit coming back as well. That Ice Wall completely going to stop their advance, but, I mean, it's not like, doesn't mean they can't enter the base. Huskar throwing them right clicks. Invoker throwing the Tornado Man just to catch them. EMP now up as well. EMP thrown, and that's going to force them out, away from each other at least a little bit. But not doing enough for Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend dead here. Good pick off there. It's going to force the rest of them to fall back. Once again, these BKB is just doing so much work. They see the Invoker throw the Meatball. They know Deafening Blast is coming up, so they just instantly pop their BKBs and are immune to everything he's got. It's just absolutely great play here by Shadow Fiend and Huskar. Too bad they can't kill off this Invoker. They seem to be missing him every time. Definitely probably a more priority target. The Legion might want to go on Invoker next time. The Venge swap did confuse me though. She swapped the Legion and then I guess force-staffed herself back. I guess I just didn't see that, but I mean I saw the swap and then they were both right here and Legion dueled Venge, so. Good save by the Shaman's Shackles and Wards, of course, but Lion warding down, and Invoker just gonna make his day. Not too good of one as a Lion gets instantly killed off. Don't know if they're going to bother to de-ward that. Probably should. Of course, we don't know if they actually saw the ward go down. But it's just going to make it so much easier for this team. They're going to know when to stay safe top because they have this ward checking them out, moving through this area. See the pings come out and they know. We just got to back out. So they do. Legion just casually walks away. Dazzle, TP's out, no biggie, they're gone. Just so much map control here. Take a look at Radiant Vision. I mean, we see how much they can see. They've got the creeps up here, they've got this ward scouting out this whole area, they've even got down here. If we take a look at Dire Vision on the other hand, the map is basically dark for them. They've got this ward, and they've got creeps. That's it. So because of this vision advantage, Team Sea Monster is definitely ahead here. They have the advantage in almost every way. They have obviously the XP advantage, the obvious net worth advantage, and with the vision advantage, they really control the map, which means the other team can't farm safely. They can't farm as efficiently. Yeah, sure, the Lion died to bring them this offensive, aggressive ward, but really worth it. Really just secures their map control. And it looks like with them pushing top, they might go for a GG push here. Shadow Fiend has Moonshard. I don't know if he's always had this or he just picked it up, but I mean, we're going to find out. Or it doesn't really matter, I mean, because he's doing work anyway. Here we go. The team getting ready for high ground defense. Invoker is good old Tornado up. Creep Wave about to get cleared. Venge swap probably going to come in. Gyrocopter missile being thrown onto this Huskar, but it's not really going to matter. Jeez, BKB used, but Wind Ranger instantly killing him off. The Legion able to pick off the Invokers, getting swapped out of Gyrocopters. A little bit of a mistake there. Huskar jumps on him in the back line. Invoker buys back. Huskar tornadoed up. Leap going to be off cooldown soon. Starting to right-click out of these wards, but the Invoker manages to get him out on his own. Dazzle shallow graving up the Huskar, and he's got to jump. There he goes. There goes the jump, going right onto the Gyrocopter. Right-clicks come through, and he's going to be dead from the fire. Will he come back? And yes, he will. There's the Aegis. What's he going to do? Shackled to the tree instantly. Unfortunately, Wind Ranger's ultimate is up. Jumps her, but he can't. She's got her Wind Run, and Shaman is his next target, but he's going to be able to make it to Fountain and survive. That Shadow Fiend just did not see it coming. And by it, I mean the Wind Ranger ultimate. Focus Fire just doing so much work that last fight. Able to kill off Shadow Fiend almost instantly, and able to make sure they get the kill on the Huskar in the end. Team VuDoo definitely going to make this a long game. Excited to see the ending fight because it's probably going to be a big one. Lion, also, he probably had a little bit of a misplay up here as well. Jumped in and Hex then got instantly blown up here. Legion killing off the Invoker was great, of course. But after the Shadow Fiend died, I think they definitely should have just backed off. They did get Invoker to buy back, but I mean, it did work for them. And he didn't even throw a meatball, but doesn't have to. Lion's gonna run away, and he's dead anyway. The two right clicks come out. Invoker finally has a BKB. Has had a BKB, it actually looks like. He's used it a few times. Here comes middle, and it looks like his team is gonna start the push up. And Lion just dead again. Team really needs to be careful. They need to get wards up again, some more defensive wards. They have this one and this one for the other side of the map, of course, but nothing really on their side. This entire jungle is dark, as well as this area up by the secret shop, so definitely have to be careful. Huskar now back up, and they decide they don't want to fight. They're just going to back off. Roche not going to be responding for a bit. Looks like they may go check it out. Another double damage here. Wind Ranger not going to pick it up. No one going to pick it up? No one? No one wants this? Wind Ranger picks it up in the end. But don't know how much they're going to be able to do with it. Legion Commander went for the Eye of Scotty. Kind of a weird item. It does give her lots more mana and lots more health, but I definitely think there are better things she could have gone. Like the BKB for herself would make her invulnerable to almost everything that's making it a lot harder for her to fight. Would also provide a bit of survivability. Although the Scotty is pretty good for the chase, considering they've got some fast heroes like the Gyrocopter and the Invoker. Not sure how much it's actually going to do for that. We'll just have to see, though. Pushing bottom is Team VuDoo, but they need to get back because Sea Monster is pushing in the mid lane, and that's quite the wave. That's going to be plenty of tower damage there, and Invoker teleports back, and he's going to be taking care of that mid wave. NATO used re-invoking an EMP, but just throws an Alacrity on himself and throwing that on out there. Gyrocopter helping him to clean up as well. Roche respawns in a minute 45, according to my handy-dandy side timer here. And Venge picking up another smoke. We'll see if they can actually get something done with this one. Their last few smokes have been spoiled by, well, the one Lion down here and then the other one. Of course, the fight that broke out here. So here we go. They smoked up. Still not sure if they've actually seen anyone on the map, but they are headed top lane. Roaming through the jungle, and to make sure that's clear, they may run into these guys down here. Which way do they decide to go? And the pinks come out. They see the Shadow Fiend. In comes the Shaman. Will they be able to find him? They can't see him. The stun comes through, and the shackles come through as well, and that's going to be a dead Shadow Fiend. Great pick off there. Just beautiful job. Really scared that they wouldn't be able to find him before we TP'd out, but I think Venge got sight on him with her Wave of Terror, and then Shaman able to shackle just before the Venge stun goes out. Great pick off there. They should definitely look for the fight now with their one of the arguably the biggest damage dealer on their team. They're going to want to get some work done now. Push out that mid lane, maybe take the mid racks. They could possibly even take the bottom racks because that tier 2 is dead. Top tier 2 still standing at full health, so they should definitely take advantage of this, though, and not just by farming. They need to go find more pickoff, maybe take a 4-on-5 fight, and just go for it. And there is the BKB by Legion Commander, so she did build it in the end. I think they could have been able to finish this game earlier if she would have just built it before the Scotty, but she got it in the end, so great job. And the Invoker is looking like he's going to be a quick pick-off target. Dueled and jumped in. It's not looking good. The Shackle comes out, and Legion Commander going to be instantly dead, even with the BKB. Stunned up Huskar. Right clicks coming out, and swap to cancel the TP. He's going to be dead, too, and there's 3 heroes dead. They really need to push now. It's just the supports on the back line. Shackle comes out, but it's not going to be able to kill off this Dazzle. The Shackle hits, though, and the Rocket going to be able to finish him off. Wind Ranger actually getting that finishing hit. Rocket and Rocket Barrage just doing so much damage. This tower not... Shaman used his wards, actually, for that fight, so tower going to be going down a little slower than usual. Just kidding. I lied. Wind Ranger, casual 7k gold. Buy a Desolator, bud. You got enough money to just straight up buy it up. And this could be Mega Creeps. The Huskar buyback, but they honestly should not be scared of this. If they can get the Shackle off, they should be able to kill him off. Shadow Fiend is back too, though, so he needs to run away. Lion Hex comes up, and he gets jumped. Lion TP's up, and he's dead. Venge, you just need to get out of there. The stun comes out on Wind Ranger as well, and instantly killed off by Lion. Shadow Shaman has his refresher, but it's not going to matter. 2 buybacks because they need to protect these towers. Good recognition there, but unfortunately, they may have overstayed their welcome in that bot lane. They needed to pay attention to the Shadow Fiend timer. Granted, I wasn't paying attention to it either, considering I told them they should be able to push, but they should be doing a lot more than I am in this game. Fortunately, Wind Ranger's expended her buyback, so she should just buy Desolator straight up, can't she? Yes, she's got 2k excess. I don't know why she's not. No idea what she's saving for. Desolator definitely should be her best friend in this situation. It's just going to allow him to push towers even faster and take down the other heroes even faster. Especially this Huskar. Vengeful Spirit actually building the Desolator. Very strange. She's not a huge right clicker, and honestly, she's not going carry Venge, so she definitely should not be building the Desolator. The big problem with this is that, like I just said, she's not carry Venge, so one, she's not going to be getting off right clicks, and she's only going to be applying this debuff onto one hero. The -7 armor is really amazing, of course, but it is -7, right? Yep, something like that. Yep, -7 armor is really amazing, but she has to be extremely careful. She's not going to be right-clicking everyone in a fight, so she has to prioritize her targets, which means she's going to be clicking Huskar, or right-clicking Huskar, or right-clicking this Legion Commander down. Which, I mean, she doesn't have much to do after she casts all her spells, but she could be repositioning herself for another cast of Nether Swap. Well, she doesn't have a Scepter, so not going to be doing the best. But Rat Dodo, best Dodo, in they come. Dazzle going to be the pick-off target here. Focus Fire used, and there's a dead Dazzle. Almost getting the Shallow Grade off, but not quite. Just a few too many crits. Invoker, oh man, if he had any sort of Force Staff or anything, beautiful play. Able to throw up that tornado at the perfect time to keep them suspended. Unfortunately, not able to make it into the pit to steal the Aegis. Thank you, Swish. Lion did, in fact, pick up the cheese as we saw there. So that possibly means he won't be instantly killed off by Invoker in this next fight, which means more spells that he's able to throw off, which means an easier fight for Team Sea Monster. "55 minutes into this game, and it's just been a struggle, a tug and war, really just going back and forth. One team, Team Sea Monster, I feel like definitely could have ended a bit earlier if they would have capitalized on some of their fights. But in comes the Legion Commander. This is going to be a huge mistake here. In comes the Huskar as well, actually. And down goes the Invoker immediately. So that's going to be their biggest fights. Unfortunately, on the backside, Wind Ranger able to just pick them off. Legion Commander coming back up, though, as she did have the Aegis. Going right back onto Invoker, but Invoker using Deafening Blast, and that's going to push her out. Uses her BKB. Did not have to use it initially, and Invoker's going to be able to get away just fine. And a 3-for-2 trade. This should be GG here. The Dazzle on the backside coming up. 2 Serpent Wards were used here, actually, so Shaman is going to end up dying for it, but he should be able to make it out in the end. But yeah, they need to push here, and they need to do it fast and good as possible. They do have the buyback on the Shadow Shaman, but he's not going to be enough. They head to the top lane. It's going to be a good way to push out, but they could just push out the mid lane and then walk to these top racks. Dazzle looks like they are going to be able to do that. Forge Spirits here in the lane, trying to do as much as they can to push it back, but Legion just uses the overwhelming odds, and that's going to force them all back. Down go the creeps, up they go, and into the base. There we go. Top tower getting right-clicked. The buyback from the Shaman happens, but as I said, not quite sure that's going to be the best. The Invoker is going to be able to catch them. Huskar coming up next. He's going to need his BKB, unfortunately, and the Invoker is going to miss him. Wind Ranger pokes firing down that Legion commander, but Legion able to win the duel. Still going to die. Shackled up in the back and stunned up. Huskar looking like he's going to be next for death. But the Shallow Grave out from Dazzle, and that's going to be a dead Shaman. Gets ratted up, or chickened up, and unfortunately, he's going to be killed out. Swapped back. Dazzle not looking good. He's going to be going down as well. Shallow Grave, nope. Not going to be able to come out. And Shazzy doing work on this Wind Ranger. Lion can be able to walk away. This melee rack still standing. They really just need to coordinate this a bit better. This Invoker just doing so much work with his initiation, able to keep the Huskar out for so long with that deafening blast. And Meepo emoji, don't even know what that means. His sound blew out playing mute. How terrible. Some friendly banter between the teams. TI6 prep, definitely TI6 material, 100% would agree. Pings come out down here, but they don't have this vision. Oh! The stun used, but the swap gonna save Venge, shackled up. Lion attempting to get the kill, able to kill him off, but Lion's gonna be dead as well. The right click's coming out, but Wind Ranger using Focus Fire, and that's just gonna be dead. Legion Commander again falsely calling GG. What a player. I have it as a hotkey. Oh, don't we all, bud? Can I use mine? No, because why isn't that worth? How sad. How sad. But this is where they really need to step up their game. I think they definitely could have pushed if Invoker was up, but obviously Invoker not up, so they just need to back up, play it a little bit safe, and MKB coming out here on the Gyrocopter. I don't know why. Should only go MKB if they have an evasion item, and no one here has evasion. Obviously, it is likely that the Shadow Fiend would have built a butterfly, so it's a preemptive measure against that, but I mean, hasn't, so probably don't need to worry about it that much. You're doing just fine without it. And now that everyone is a 5-second BKB, those BKBs aren't doing much in a fight because Invoker is casting his first round of spells, and then of course BKBs are coming off and the second round goes out. Of course it's not the initial amazing spells like Tornado and EMP, but you still got your Forge Spirits, Sunstrike maybe every now and then, a Cold Snap even coming out. Invoker, I think Invoker is really going to be the key to winning this game. If Invoker is able to continue casting his spells like they need him to, it's going to look really good for Team VuDoo. If he gets picked off again at the beginning of fights with this Legion Commander, it's going to be extremely hard for them to be able to win here. Invoker is really their bread and butter. He's got all their spells. He's got all their utility. They smoke up. Here we go. We want to go straight into their jungle. They ping them out down bottom, and this is probably going to be the GG fight, unless they pull even 4 for 4 or something, and they smoke up again. Both teams are going to connect in smoke. Here we go. They're going to just barely miss each other there at the rune. They go into Roshan, but he is not up yet. And this team goes into the jungle. This team heads up towards their base. No. So sad they're not able to do it, and they need to get back now because the tower, it is falling. Invoker's TP is canceled. This team walking straight up in smoke with that extra speed. Here we go. The final battle is going to happen right now. Tornado catching 4 of them blind. What a play from Invoker, but he needs to run. He's the only one here. There we go. BKB is pop, but it's not going to stop Dual Venge. Not able to stop this at all. And Invoker, there we go. He's down, and it looks like GG. He has no buyback. There we go. The right clicks are able to come through on the Ancient. BKB's popped, and there we go. GG. Team Sea Monster is going to be able to win that. Great game. Some amazing